So guys, back in May, I reported on the story, a County Lines drug story, where a gang was jailed for 40 years after a taxi driver on their payroll accidentally recorded himself ferrying dealers around and discussing their crimes on his own dashcam. The Marlow Line drug ring moved around a kilo of crack cocaine and heroin into Derby from Nottingham between March the 20th and July the 22nd last year. Gang members also sent out a staggering 8,439 texts to potential users advertising the drugs they were supplying. They used Addict's House as a base where they bullied vulnerable young people into selling the drugs. The gang were nailed after they recruited a taxi driver, Shahid Iqbal, who's 41 years old, who transported drugs and dealers around the city.
There's a shop in it, the Premier shop nearby, yeah? What you do is, you get £10 credit on your phone, yeah?
Put a link to that story in the description below, but if you guys have seen it, it was the driver who was selling the drug dealer that, I'll be honest with you, bro, look, whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you. And he said this phrase at least 4 or 5 times. But why I'm doing this update is because I've got more footage from the actual taxi. So guys, check this out.
I'm a detective inspector. I work in the city of Derby. And one of my roles is I work on South Division, and I'm the lead on County Lines and County Lines investigations. So County Lines is a type of criminality around drug dealing, and it mainly involves organised gangs that exploit young people and take advantage of vulnerable adults in order to supply controlled drugs. When I talk about drug dealing, it probably doesn't do it justice, because it all is built around power and control over people in order to supply the drugs and make money. So you're going to see a clip here, and this is a taxi driver talking to the person who was involved in running the county line. And what you'll see is a conversation, and the taxi driver is asking about what's going on, what's just happened.
Everything gone alright, yeah? What was that other guy's name that we had in here?
Danny,
Danny, yeah.
it's the first time he's been to OT, innit?
The first time he's come here? But he knows what he's doing though, yeah?
I had to show him that's why I was there for so long, innit? I was showing him what's going on, like, what's what.
But obviously he knows Derby though, yeah?
No.
How's he gonna get around doing thing then?
Oh no, the people that come here, they don't get out.
Is it?
No, they don't go out at all.
Okay.
I got a girl, innit, that goes out for them, a nip bag.
Is it?
Yeah, they don't. They just literally collect the money and make sure the money's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Nah, yeah.
Okay, obviously you can't trust nitties with just product, innit?
Yeah.
And what's happened is a young person has been taken from Nottingham, taken into Derby and dropped at the trap house to sell drugs. You'll see the taxi driver say, does he know what he's doing? And the drug dealer, the guy that's running the county line, says, no, I've just had to go and show him what to do. So this guy's never done this before, and that's a point to take and keep in your mind. This is a young person that's been taken out of their city, the things that they know, their surroundings, and they're isolated. They haven't got any friends. You know, they're not with the people that have taken them there, aren't their friends, and you can tell by the way that they talk about them.
Police arrested 11 members of the gang who admitted their roles in the supply of the drugs at Derby Crown Court on May the 6th. The 10 members of the gang were jailed for more than 40 years. The ringleader, Bright Norman, who's 25, was jailed for 9.5 years. His right-hand man, Andrew Evaristo, who's 24 years old, was put away for 7 years and 10 months. You had fellow henchman Haley, who was jailed for 6 years and 9 months. The court heard the drugs were cut and packaged at the Nottingham home of an addict who goes by the name of Sharice Fuller before being driven down the A52 into Derby. The drugs were then sold at the homes of Sharon Taylor, Gemma Cooper and Mandy Hughes. Norman, Evaristo and Haley would give the drugs to runners Nana Valdevelde, Ricky Ollie Smith and Grady Mbika Blessing, who would then restock the cellars in Derby.
He's a taxi driver who's been transporting people to trap addresses and helping the person run his county line, and the person that's running the county line talking. And they're talking about a young person who's been told to get the train to Derby from Nottingham and to get themselves from the train station to the trap address which has been given.
Fam, this guy's just stupid, man. Nah. This is not the cats, that's the guy. I've just sent him down in a cab, bro. He landed in Derby train station
Yeah.
40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I thought he was at the house now. I sent so many customers to the house now, yeah? He's still at the fucking train station now.
Ten catch a taxi and go to St David's.
That's what I'm trying to say to bro, this is what I'm trying to say. He said to me, yeah, he called a cab, they're taking a and listen to this, you know Derby train station. Across from Derby train station there's a taxi firm.
There's yellow, what?
And the yellow cab.
Across the road.
Across the road. You know what I'm trying to say, fam?
Hey, man.
He is so stupid, I swear to God.
Same one.
Same one, he's going down. Tomorrow, he's going. I'm gonna have to try to find a new one.
Man. Where's the original ones?
They can only work like 2 days, 3 days. I need someone that can work a week. It's the dumbest dude I've ever had up there, so I don't.
I can see it from the start as well, you know.
And you feel sorry for him, listen, you feel sorry for him, yeah?
The way they continue to talk about this person is they say, you know what, he doesn't know what he's doing, I'm going to drop him, I'm going to get someone else, I'm going to replace him, and I'm going to sort it out. And I think that's something that is really key, that when, you know, that these drugs gangs are recruiting people, you know, you talk about it as grooming, and it is that. They're going to go out and they're going to promise you this, they're going to promise you respect, they're going to promise you money, they're going to promise you all the things that they want you to believe. The reality is, you are there solely to make money for this person, and if you don't make money for this person, you are disposable. And the money that you've lost, they're going to want back. You know, it is absolutely the classic example of exploitation, where, you know, they don't care. As long as they're making money and keeping themselves away from getting caught, you're taking all the risks and you're making them that money.
I want to raise awareness on this issue of using vulnerable children to get involved in county lines drug dealing. So for those of you that don't know, county lines is a term used to describe urban gangs supplying drugs to other parts of the UK using dedicated mobile phone lines. And the gangs are most likely to exploit children or vulnerable adults to move and store drugs, and they will often use violence and coercion. Now, if any taxi drivers are watching, I just want to give you guys some tips on how to notice if there's any children being used in this type of work. Passengers sometimes can be young as 12, and you need to establish if they're about 12, 13 years old, they're travelling alone. Are they travelling during school hours or unusual hours for a youngster to be away from home, such as like early morning or very late at night? Are they unfamiliar with the local area? Do they have an accent which is not local? Are they travelling long distance? Are they paying for these journeys in cash?
Young lad, you know, a young person from Nottingham. Now, it's our belief that he'd already been working in a trap house in Nottingham, and you'll see he's put into the taxi, and then the taxi driver takes him to see the person who's running the county line. Doesn't know where he's going, doesn't really know who he's going to meet, and he gets taken there and he'll meet that person and he gives him the drugs and hands it over to him, and then he's sent on his way and the taxi driver takes him to another trap house in Derby.
Once you've done some stuff in it, there's a shop in it. Just get some credit. Just once you've made a little thing in it, just there's a shop in it there, Premier shop nearby. Yeah. What you do is you get £10 credit on your phone. Yeah. You get used to this one, bro. You make some peas. You get me, bro? I said you'll get used to this one. You make some peas. You make some money this one. Well, I tell you, innit? You be good with this guy here, yeah? He'll look after you, bro.
And when he gets to Derby, the person whose house it is, this adult with her own vulnerabilities, who's a drug user, has come out and has come and collected him, and he's been taken into that house. The fact of the matter is that, you know, again, this person is just being shipped around. No one cares. He doesn't mean anything to them. They're not his friends. They're not looking out for him. They are using him to sell those drugs. And all he needs to do, all they want him to do, is to sit in that address for 3 days, not go out, not contact anyone else, have the phone on, ready to take and receive orders from drug users, and to get those drugs served up. You know, I think this is the thing that we really need to understand, that when these people are making promises of making money and getting nice things, it's not true. What it really means is that you're going to be put in some real nasty dark situations where you're exposed to violence, exposed to risk, put around drug users that, you know, are dealing with their own issues at the time. And you're going to be expected to do that, because if you don't do it, you're going to be in trouble with the people who are running the line.
Now, people have a choice on how to make money, whether it be legal ways or illegal ways. That's down to them, that's their problem. But one thing that is not acceptable is using vulnerable children to do the dirty work for you in illegal activities. One thing across the board that's not acceptable is using vulnerable children to do your dirty work for you. That's just not acceptable. Another message for parents out there: this day and age, the kids, the 12, 13-year-olds, they're not like how we were back in the day. They've got more access and can process more information than we ever could at that age. And it's a dangerous world out there. And I'd say at least once a week, check in with your kids, find out how they're doing, find out what interests them, find out what they like, and try to get involved in that conversation, try to get involved in what they do. Because you straight, once you get disengaged with your child at this particular age, it's over. If you feel as though that you haven't got the time in order to engage with your kids, take that 1 hour away from YouTube watching my cooking videos, or take time off Netflix and engage with your children and let them know that you care about them. Sometimes kids need love, and it's in these type of situations where they don't get what they want at home, they don't want to be at home, that they get involved in this type of business. Because then they feel as though when they're out of the home and they're within these gangs, they get that love that they're not getting at home. But in actual fact, is it love? No, it's not. They're just being used to make as much money as they can for the elders. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, bro. Look, whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you, brother. I'm like a brother to you, you know what I mean? So whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you got me, bro? Yeah. Look, like I says, innit, whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you. Nobody needs to know about nothing, you got me? Yeah. Once a day? Yeah, there you go, bro. There you go. Yeah. See, like I says, innit, bro, whenever you need me, anytime, day, night, anytime, you got me. I'll be there for you, my brother, you got me. Anytime.